Hey folks, Mr. Dell here. We are looking at this is a problem from CC2, so course 2, section 1.1.2, and specifically number 1-11. So it says to find the perimeter and the area of each figure below. It says to review the math notes box in this lesson for help. So in the math notes, if you look above, in those math notes, you would find formulas and information around area and perimeter and different shapes. But we'll go ahead and go through the lesson right now and make sure we're good to go. So we've got three shapes. So I'm going to do one at a time. The shape is actually, this is a triangle, right? So triangle. And the perimeter of a triangle, to find the perimeter of a triangle, it's basically what you do is just add all sides, right? And we're talking about the outsides. Add all the sides. So not this piece. That piece right there would be the height of the triangle. So just the three sides. Add all, I'll put them in there, three sides. So we make sure we realize that there's three sides. So perimeter for this one would be, if I just add one side at a time, that's 6 plus this side here, 5 plus that side there is 7.5. So perimeter, 11, 18.5. So you could say P for perimeter is 18.5. And we always use our units, and perimeter is length, so it's just inches because we're talking about length. Area of a triangle. Okay, so area of a triangle, so a little notation. Area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. Or you can write it as base times height divided by 2. Okay, so area is base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height. So now the question is, which one's the base, which one's the height, right? Well, base and height are always connected with 90 degrees. So the base is always one of the outsides of the triangle, and the height is just that 90-degree line, that perpendicular line to that base. So my base here is 7.5. My height is 4 inches. And let me go back. Why is it 1/2 base times height? Why is it? Well, if you were to able to redraw this and make it two triangles, if I were to kind of connect my dots here and do this, I'd have two identical triangles that create this parallelogram. So parallelogram, the actual area of a parallelogram is just base times the height. It's exactly that. So if there's two of those, that's why we cut it in half. We're cutting that parallelogram in half. So that's why it's half of base times height. So let me do the math down here. So area for this one would be 1/2 times the base, which is 7.5, times the height, which is 4. So it's 1/2 times 7.5 times 4. You can use parentheses, dots, however you want to look at it, the multiplication. So doing the math here, when you crunch those numbers, you should get 15. So 15, and again, our units are inches, but area is always square inches or square feet or whatever the measure is. So it's 15, so the area is 15 inches squared. Okay? So that's area of a triangle. This here, this shape, is known as a trapezoid. So a trapezoid is almost, if you look at it, you've got these, you could cut the trapezoid here and you have a rectangle and two triangles, but there's a way to find the area of that with one formula. So I'm going to show you that. But perimeter, though, again, perimeter is just add all, in this case, 4 sides, right? So the perimeter of a trapezoid is the 4 sides added up. So not this piece. This piece is the height, and that's not the outside. So we add just the outside pieces, just those outside lengths. So it's 13 plus 12 plus 13.4 plus 23. So if I add all that up, let's see what we get here. So I've got 25. So 61, I want to say it's 61.4. and it's centimeters, right? So 61.4 centimeters. And I would say that's the perimeter. Okay, make sure we get that. That's good. Yeah. And area of a trapezoid. Okay, area is a little different. Area of a trapezoid is, the formula is 1/2 times the height, right? H being height, times the sum of the bases. And so the notation is B1 plus B2. The sum of the bases. Basically, the sum of the lines that are parallel to each other. These are the bases. So this is B1, B2, or vice versa. So it's the sum of those times the height, which the height is 12, times 1/2. So that's the area of a trapezoid. So to find that, I'm going to just plug in my numbers. 1/2 times the height. Height is 12, so it's times 12, and then times the sum of the bases. So 12 plus 23. Those are the bases. One's 12, one's 23. So when I do my math here, let's see. So area is equal to, so 1/2 times 12. I'll go ahead and do what's inside my parentheses first. That adds up to be 35. And then I can multiply straight across because it's 1/2 times 12 is 6. And then 6 times 35 is, what is that going to give me? 210. So this area of this trapezoid is 210. And again, it's centimeters squared, or square centimeters, because that's my unit is centimeters and area is always squared. All right, last one here. This shape. What is that shape? Well, if you notice, you have opposite sides are parallel, right? It's not a rectangle. A rectangle has to have 4 90-degree angles. So this is what we call a parallelogram. So a parallelogram, okay? And the perimeter of a parallelogram, again, is add all 4 sides. That's what we have to do. So the sides being the outsides, not this inside piece. That's the height. That's not part of the perimeter. So this is 4, this is 7. So what is it over here? Well, opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. So if that's 4, that's 4. And this is 7, so therefore over here is 7. Right? So the parallelogram, you would just say is the 4 plus the 7 plus the 4 plus the 7. So when I add all that up, I should end up with, is that 22? So the perimeter is 22, and we're dealing with yards. So 22 yards. Last one, area of a parallelogram. Area of a parallelogram is the base times the height. Right? Just base times height. Like I said over here, the area of a triangle is half base times height, because triangle are basically 2 triangles put together make one parallelogram. So my parallelogram, if I were to cut it in half, would make 2 triangles, right? So base times height. So up here, base and height are just the side and the 2 lengths that create that 90 degrees, right? So here, right here would be the height, and here would be the base, because this is where there's that 90-degree angle created. That's where those 2 are perpendicular. So really, for this case, it's just area is going to be 3 times 7. So area is 21, and again, yards, and in this case, squared, yards squared. So 21 yards squared. All right, there you go. Hope that helps.